Hello Leo and welcome to your Astroflower family. Look at that thing straight off the bat. Karmic path on your relationship side, Two of Cups. Karmic path on your work side, the Lovers. Should we stop there? I think we'd probably be better off doing that. And then the Three of Swords in the middle? You're joking. Leo, what's going on? You're all about the heart, Leo. You got to be careful with it. You know, all that passion. Right, well, if you know anything about the Astroflower, welcome back to the Astroflower family. This is going to be a meeting about Leo, and for the week going from the 6th of June through to the 13th of June. So basically you're in your autumn period, the last period, second period before your birthday, that second month before your birthday. So it's all going to be about on the physical sort of side of life. What have I been doing in life? What job am I doing? What do I want to do in the future? Just sort of questioning about where we've come from and where we're going to after our birthday. So if you're not part of the Astroflower family, it's very simple. It's been an absolute pleasure for you to be here and to support this channel. All you need to do is subscribe and click that bell. Clicking the bell is really important, apparently. So it'd be lovely to have you here and doing it. This is your karmic paths, by the way. Karmic paths for your relationship side and your work side. This is how the universe influence your karmic path. This is how the guides influence your karmic path. This is how the guides influence the conversation that is within you. And this is how you combine the two into the connection with the reality that is around you, and this is the overall energy that's coming through you this week. So let's get straight in here, because I use the cards as a way of clarifying the channeling, basically. So let's just see what this, because I don't necessarily think that the energy is asking, the overall energy is asking for you to separate. You may well be in that situation, because there is people who separate all over the place at any given time, not just Leos. So you may well be in that situation. I hope not, or I hope that if you are, it goes the best for you, But it doesn't necessarily mean that. Let's just, see, it's coming in from this side here, from the Lover's side. So you may be, as I said, you're questioning. This is the month where we question what we do physically. Where are we in the world? Where do we live in the world physically? What do we do as a job? What do I do as exercise physically? Those sort of things, all concerned with the material world. And the 2 months before our birthday, that's the best time of the year for each sign, 2 months before your birthday, to question that side. And it seems to be questioning that side. And I guarantee that Leo, as per usual, you are being really hard on yourself. And being really, really hard. The life is hard enough. You don't need to add to it. So, but don't be so strict, strict on yourself. Perfection does not exist. Well, it does exist in 2 moments. First breath, last exhalation. But anyway, that's what it's sort of saying here. I think it had it. And the funny thing is, you had it up there last week, the Three of Swords. So it's actually coming in from that outside world. You will be coming through this in the next couple of weeks after this week, in this week and the following week, because we'll be moving into Cancer. And it'll be moving on to questioning your spiritual and emotional sort of side. So, it's gradually working its way through you, because that's how the Astroflower works. It works on a lot of different rhythms, solar rhythms, human rhythms, natural rhythms, which you get in the Astroflower book, which you can find in the link in the description below. So it's combining that rhythm there, and it's flowing through you here as it goes through you. So if I was you, just be a little bit softer on yourself this week. But at the same time, do honestly look at yourself. It's always a good thing to do. Let's go on the relationship side. Let's just see what's going on with this Two of Cups. There we go. The signature tune for the Two of Cups is absolutely beautiful. Very harmonious. Now let's get in there and get the message. It takes two, baby. Just me and you. I had to finish in that song. I've been singing a lot at the moment. I don't necessarily sing well, but this is what it says. It takes you and your higher self in order to make for good relationships. You know, you can be the father to your son or your daughter, or you could be the mother to your daughter or your son, but they're not yours. You're only holding their hands for the first part of their life, and then they've got to gradually take off to their own path as it emerges from your path, as it were. And it's still 2 weeks away, but it's still those little ideas coming into play where sort of kind of going, I want to be at one with myself, so then I can be at one with everybody around me. And that's what I mean about sort of falling in love with the higher self. Let's have a look at what's going on and how the universe is trying to influence that karmic path. This is similar to that, the Two of Cups vibration, but it's much more from the outside world. So although there's a bit of resistance from you or your karmic path, because you can't do everything at the same time, the universe is sort of kind of saying, yeah, but what about this? What about that? And you're sort of saying, I can't take that. I'll have a look at that. That's the sort of thing. It's like 1 out of 3 things you can take on board. That's what it seems like. What's the message coming from there? To achieve pure happiness is to be at one with the path that you're walking. So there is no choices in life. It's just an evident path that you should be following. Relationships. Look at this. You've got the lovers, you've got the Two of Cups and Three of Cups. This is a really lovely bottom section you've got going on here, Leo. You've been having a hard time with it over the last 2 weeks, I think, 2 or 3 weeks. I think it's been a bit trying for you, a bit difficult, bit hard. And it looks like you're coming through this in a really nice way. So it's getting involved in your community, falling in love with yourself and your position within that community, within your couple, within your family, within your friends, and allowing that community to come into you, as it were. Allow them into your life. Sometimes it's good to be vulnerable. Okay, so this on how the guides are trying to influence your karmic path. There's day and night here, so it's understanding when to. Okay, let's just get the message. Be flexible. Be easygoing. Reserve judgment. That's what it's sort of saying there. Tower. So it doesn't necessarily mean a tower moment. It can do for some of you, of course. This is a tower moment that affects your karmic path. So it's going to be very subconscious level, and you probably won't see the result of that for many years to come or many months to come. But as a guide speaking to you, and this is what we're talking about here, this is why I use the cards to clarify. So as the guide speaking to you at the moment, it means that in relationships you're going to have to just be a little bit sort of flexible, non-judgmental, and allow people in. And this is the same thing with the universe, sort of allow the universe come into you. Okay, I think this is, it's nice for you. I think it's going to make you feel really at home, Leo. Okay, so this is how the guide's trying to influence the conversation that's within you. Okay, so it's pretty even as well. I guess the words coming to me are a rest is as good as a holiday. It's not that, is it? It's change is usually good as a holiday, but I don't think it is that. I think your guides in the conversation will be sort of like kind of going, just relax, it's okay, don't worry about it. it's no point, no point allowing it to disturb you, as it were. Queen of Cups, spreading your love around. Literally, yeah, that's good. I like that. I like that idea. One of the best ways for it to just sort of like be relaxed. It's okay. The funny thing is, she's in the same position. It's that whole idea of kind of going, yeah, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Just let your love shine. And yeah, it ties in for these guys here. I think all on this side here. I think they're in waiting for you to look at your emotional, relationship, energy, spiritual side of life next month. And it's almost as if everyone's in a position now, kind of going, slowing things down and kind of going, we'll be in a position for Leo to really look at that. Let's see what's going on your financial and your money side of life, or on your physical side of life. If you're going to make it, this is what's coming from this card. If you're going to make any changes, make sure you love those changes. Okay? Make sure you love them because you love them, not because someone else loves them. Someone else loving them can validate your choice of loving that change. But just because someone wants you to be in a different way, I can't imagine you doing much of that, Leo. Because you've got such a strong heart. When your heart's into something, there's nothing stopping a Leo from doing it, So yeah, so make sure that if any changes you bring into your life, and I wouldn't start changing drastically now, just be the conclusion that the change must happen, then, make sure it's beneficial for you. Okay, so this is coming in as well. So it's really blowing off, coming in similar to that sort of card there. It's wave after wave after wave. Okay. Starting with a clean surface, or say like imagine if you're doing a garden, starting with a flower bed the earth has been turned over, there's no seeds in it, there's no weeds, it's ready to be planted up. You can do what you like with it. So it's making sure you've got what you're working on is clean from the base upwards. The world. There's so many people who get in the world on this card as well, on this petal as well. I think it must be the third or fourth. It's quite interesting that. So basically you've got everything. Funny I made the connection with the flowers and the flower bed. The world has everything at your disposal. You have a clean slate. That's the phrase I'm looking for. Make sure you have a clean slate before you start. That's it. So on that clean slate, you can literally put anything. It is the changing of a chapter. And that's that year coming round for you, that birthday that is approaching. Okay, so this here is, you guys here are these guys here in the process of selectioning what sort of experiences you've wish to experience on your karmic path. They're saying, if you've entertained the idea of change or doing things differently within your money, your business, your job, you've got to own it, those changes. You've got to take responsibility for it. And Leo, if anyone's going to take responsibility for it, you will do. And so I think here is it's like your guides are sort of saying, apparently you've chose this path. This is your evident path. This is what you should be following. 7 of Cups. Don't procrastinate. That's exactly it. Your evident path is that one there. I keep saying it on this card here. That actually, you might have 10 different possibilities, but once you look at those possibilities, you're eventually going to kind of go, well, it's evident that I've got to do that. So that's what your guides are doing. They're only it's a little bit like the sperm and the egg. they're only allowing one sperm through. So this is what your guides are doing here. They're only allowing things through to your path that apparently you have been calling into your life. Okay, let's just see how what's going on the influence from the guides in the inner conversation here. Real defensive. They're really looking after you here. They're being real bodyguards here. You know. Is it pre-armed, pre-warned? I don't know. Was it pre-warned, pre-armed? I don't know. You know, it's almost as if like, you know, it can work, but I think it does have its limitations as well. It's a bit of a yin and yang situation. It's certainly split up into two areas. One area which is very flat and very smooth, another area which is sort of spiky. And it's almost as if like you're preparing for the worst. And I'm not sure that's a good idea. I think if you switched it around and you sort of expected the worst from the outside world, humans are brilliant people, individuals. They are absolutely amazing. But collectively, we can be a nightmare. I think everybody knows that, you know. And I think this is the way where it's sort of like, rather than being prickly to yourself, because this is where you're being hard to yourself. Right, okay. So, yeah, this is what they're sort of saying here, is sort of saying you're expecting the worst to happen, and therefore the worst has got a greater chance to happen. And I think your guides are sort of like reminding you of this week, to not fall into that trap. Yeah, okay? It's asking you to be a little bit more positive, because that Three of Swords came from that position last week. Page of Wands. That's really joyous, childlike. That's that smooth side. That's that. Take the rough and the smooth. There you go. That's what it is. Take the rough and the smooth. That's funny, because that side there was pretty similar sort of thing. Kind of like, oh, no, wait, let the love light shine. And it's like, this side is a very similar sort of situation, where you're in a rough and a smooth situation, where you've got to take the rough and the smooth, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be heartbroken over the rough. Okay? That's really good. I'm really happy for you, Leo. I was a little bit worried about you, to be honest, if truth be told, because it looked like it was getting a little bit hard for you and a little bit too heavy for you, and it's good to see this light side coming through for you again, which is really nice. Let's see how we combine these two here. Last week you had the Five of Cups, a little bit disappointed in life, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's introspective. So you're there in your job, you're there in your relationships, you're there, you're present. But, you know, you're not going to be the band leader, because you don't want to be, which is probably a good thing at the moment, because it's good to just sit back and observe and enjoy yourself. Just take the pressure. This is what it is. In your interaction with the outside world, just take the pressure off you, okay? Strength card. It's you, isn't it? That's Leo. So being strength, being that being who you are, and just sort of, you know, it's that Queen of Cups again. Just being, and, you know, not being so hard on yourself. Just take a breather from it all if you have to. Don't get involved. Just enjoy the niceties of life, because what is important at the moment is you, apparently. And it's there's probably a little bit of repositioning going on at this present time. Not major changes, but you only have to change by 1 degree. That the outcome is huge. It's completely different. You talk to anybody in NASA sending up spaceships, you know, into the, if they're off by a degree, it's like, oh, forget it, the mission's dead. So these little small increments are really important. there you go, Leo. I hope you did enjoy that. I hope that does help you get the best out of next week. Yeah. If you want to know more about the Astroflower, there's loads of links in the description below. If you're already part of the Astroflower family, I do thank you very much. It is much appreciated, your support for this channel, and it's been proved in the watching of the videos, and also the watch time as well, which you guys have really been commenting a lot and stuff like that. It's been really nice. If you want to be part of the Astroflower family, you're more than welcome, seriously, and it doesn't take anything at all. It's really easy. All you got to do is subscribe and click that bell, and you'll be part of the Astroflower family. So in the meantime, Leo, yeah, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.